So, dear colleagues, welcome everyone at our today's meeting on Saturday, on the 28th of June. And I can see quite a lot of interest in our meeting because we have several hundred thousand people, or several hundred people in here. Currently, it was 333. Now it has grown, of course. So an interesting number. So before we start, we will launch a survey, and you are kindly asked to fill it in at the very beginning of our meeting. The questionnaire, the poll, will be available in the chat. Our moderator will share it with you. You'll have it within 5 minutes. And then you will be asked to answer certain questions. So as for translation, someone is saying Spanish or English, please. Do we have all the interpreters in place? Do we have the same language? So I'm told that we have 100% all the same languages. So we're having 8 languages today. And for us to understand the demand for different languages, we're going to share the poll, the survey with you. That will help us identify the need for different languages. So as far as I understand, everything is fine in terms of sound and video. So this meeting is going to take 1 hour, 1 hour and a half tops. So dear friends, the first thing that I wanted to start with, we met a week ago on Saturday. We had a large-scale, unique event, which was an online event with the live participation of the owner and author of the string transportation technology, Dr. Unitsky. We also had top management of UST there, Mr. Petrov and Mr. Oleg Zaretsky, directors for the commercial, let's call it department in the ecosystem. Mr. Petrov is responsible for Europe, CIS countries, and Mr. Zaretsky is responsible for Middle East, Middle Asia, and other countries. But you know what they are responsible for. So indeed, the meeting was quite unique because for the first time ever, the top management of UST, headed by Dr. Unitsky, attended our platform's meeting, and that event caused a lot of resonance among the investors into the string transportation technology because there was a limited number of spots in Zoom, and lots of you who weren't there live are looking forward to having a recording of that meeting. So let me tell you that there will be a recording next week. It hasn't been published yet because there were certain technical complexities in to make sure that everything would be available on a high level of quality in all languages. I think the technical team will take a couple of more days, and then early next week, Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, we will share the recording of the meeting on all our media of the meeting on the 21st of June. And those of you who weren't able to watch it live will be able to watch the recording of it. It will be published on YouTube and Vimeo. For all our investors and all the clients of the platform who cannot access YouTube in your country, you can go to the Vimeo. And I wanted to point that out because probably not everyone knows that we have a page on Vimeo as well. And I hope you do know what it means, what it is. It's a same thing as YouTube, and it's available in those areas where YouTube is not available. So, dear colleagues, don't be concerned. You will be able to see and hear everything that was said and shown on the 21st. So, I now see that the questionnaire was shared in the chat. We have now 360 plus people. Please follow the link and answer the questions. It will be those questions are quite simple. It's the language that you're listening in, your status, like active partner, passive partner, and how useful the meeting is for you. That's it. So basically, it's a Google form. So please do fill it in. We really need it. We're doing it to make sure that we fully realize what languages we should be using in our meetings in the near future. So I see some of the people saying that the audio is breaking, and then Gulnara right away said, no, nothing is breaking. So basically, probably it's at your end. So let me check again. Is the sound okay? So I see the admin telling me that everything is fine. So everything is good. Good. Then if you have sound related problems in some languages, maybe it's the problem with your gadget or connectivity at your end. Okay, then. In this case, Ruslan, we can remove the screensaver and start the meeting. Okay, dear friends, uh, who was there on the 21st of June? Give me a plus in the chat and tell me what you liked most out of the event that we had on Saturday. So, what you liked the best, the most, what you remember the most from our meeting on Saturday? I see people are saying earmarked or targeted projects, then the start of operations in the US, then people are saying Dr. Unitsky's speech, Anatoli Unitsky's speech, then allocation of land for high-speed transportation, Dr. Unitsky's speech. I liked everything. I liked all the speakers. Well, I see you guys liked everything. Thank you very much for that, for your feedback. So what I wanted to focus on, dear friends, and I wanted in 2 words recap everything that we've heard on the 21st of June, because some of our investors, some of our partners did not fully understand what Dr. Unitsky said regarding the separation of UST into a separate area project, and also what he said regarding the issue of shares in the United States. So what I'm saying is based on what I read in the chat. And of course, it's normal when people have misunderstanding in terms of shares, pre-IPO shares, etc. So there is a group of companies by Dr. Unitsky as the owner of the technology string transportation. At first, in 2013, a holding company was created called Global Transport Investment. Someone is saying, where can I find the questionnaire? Well, it's in the chat, but Ruslan, could you please share it again? Okay, here you have it, the link. Can we somehow pin that message? Okay, sorry for getting distracted. So, friends, where were we? So, there is a group of companies owned by Dr. Unitsky, which possessed his intellectual property that he mentioned in much detail. He said what was comprised, what consisted this intellectual property of. And that GTI issued pre-IPO shares, 400 billion pre-IPO shares. and GTI sold those pre-IPO shares through crowd investing platforms by raising funds for the technology. In 10 years, 11 years of development of this project, the GTI holding company was able to finance the creation of 2 commercial products and bring them to the commercialization. I'm talking about cargo and urban passenger string transportation, and we are full aware of it. At this stage, those 2 commercial products are now steadily being implemented into reality because there is already a ready commercial project. We know that in December 2024 it was launched in Belarus in Eco Park Aquarel. And also on a regular basis, contracts are being signed in different countries at the governmental level. We know about projects in Nepal, Taiwan, India, in the United Arab Emirates, and a number of other regions. And in Belarus also, and in the CIS countries, we heard about Kazakhstan last time. So the process of commercialization of those 2 commercial projects is ongoing. And all of it relates to the GTI holding company and us as co-investors. The GTI holding company was able to fund only 2 projects 100%. And now we can see the result. As of the high-speed transportation, Dr. Unitsky in his speech mentioned that the intellectual property owned by him as the author and the creator of this technology, high-speed transportation. There is a separate evaluation which was used as the basis that was used or is used as the basis for creating a separate group of companies in the US territory to be able to implement the high technological hub, which will be based on high-speed transportation system. And in the territory of that, on the premises of that hub, Unitsky's team will showcase what has been created so far by GTI. And what did they create so far? 2 other types of transportation, which are now already being commercialized: cargo and passenger transportation. Why do we need this hub in the US? It is necessary to make sure that US as the center of innovation in the world, so that hub in the US would show the creation of a new sector, because high-speed transportation and string transportation in general is a sector-forming technology. So the hub will showcase the new type of transportation and the new high-speed transportation. So, and we can rest assured now of the following facts. The holding company GTI is a stakeholder of in the US company, and the US holding has given a 5% stake to GTI. So GTI has a 5% stake in the US company. As for the shares issued by the US company. As for GTI issued pre-IPO shares, or like stakes in the company, which was not yet shares. So according to the British Virgin Islands laws, you don't need to issue shares as such to launch the crowd investing and attract lots of investors. It was sufficient to issue pre-IPO shares, PIPEs, to allow people to invest. And the holding company GTI will still preserve the same structure that it has right now and will still sell pre-IPO shares to raise funds for the UST group of companies in order to improve on the existing types of transportation. And I also mentioned it on Saturday during my last speech, but also I talked about it at length during my previous meetings. So, and in the US territory, according to the US laws, the newly created company, the group of companies created by Dr. Unitsky based on high-speed transportation, that company issued shares, but it doesn't mean that the company has already launched an IPO and now has gone like public and it will start selling its shares in the stock exchange. No, it will still continue selling its shares, but in that case, they are actually shares and not pre-IPO shares like in the BVI or GTI. So, and I've been already seeing why partners are asking why a share costs $500, etc., etc. Dear friends, US operates with a completely different set of laws, and the company, when created, can decide on its own what's going to be the face value of their share. So the cost of one stake or one share in the US company. So for us, it is important to understand that we have a relation to it, being as co-owners of GTI, and the entire GTI holding has a 5% stake in the US. In other words, out of the entire total issue of the US company, 5% is owned by us. So once the hub is launched in the US and once the technology is certified and brought into operation and will start being commercialized, then the GTI holding company will be receiving an income, will be receiving also sharing in the net profits of the American group of companies. Are we all clear about this particular point? Do we need to go into more details and technicalities and start asking questions why a share costs $500, etc., etc.? And other questions that you guys tried to work the math of or interpret. This is a new company created by the owner of the technology. And the owner of the technology, Dr. Unitsky, as a token of gratitude, allocated 5% stake to GTI or the entire crowd investing community. So he gave us 5% stake, although UST technology, high-speed UST technology, was financed only at 1%. We know that only a prototype was created, which is not even a high-speed module. The speed that the company was able to show with that module was 80 kilometers, probably a little bit more, because the company didn't have a longer track to test that speed. Because in order to test the 500 kilometer speed, you need a longer track and you need a different module with a different wheel, with a different safety system, with a different control system, and all other technological innovative engineering processes. So all of it will happen in the US territory, in the hub that is going to be built on the agreed upon piece of land. And we already heard how it happened, where the owner of the land decided to provide land in exchange for shares. So he invested in kind. So again, in exchange of the company's shares, the landowner leased out his land to Dr. Unitsky and to build the high-speed hub on it. So it's a very good deal that helped optimize the costs of Dr. Unitsky's company and his new group of companies. So the US company didn't have to buy land with actual money. So it's a very welcome bonus or thing. It's a very good example or confirmation of what I used to say when I was talking about commercial projects, that commercial projects can be implemented in a hybrid way, where landowners can also become co-owners, or for example, an entire municipality can become like a co-owner by allocating land instead of money in a commercial project. Or there can be other hybrid modes like a private-public partnership. So every project is individual. Like Dennis wrote in the chat, we'd like to thank Dr. Unitsky and show our deepest respect. So basically, any kind of deal, commercial deal that doesn't require paying money is a welcome thing for us. And Dr. Unitsky decided to allocate shares in exchange of land. And this is a very good deal, and I think it deserves our respect. And I wanted also to emphasize last time that Dr. Unitsky is capable of selling well his product, his technology. And of course, he has our deepest respect for that. So if we recap the whole high-speed transportation topic, here's what we need to remember. There is a holding company called GTI, which performed 100% of its obligations only in relation to two types of transportation: passenger and cargo transportation, string transportation. So let's memorize that. Second, the crowd investing did not raise enough money for the high-speed transportation, and Dr. Unitsky decided to start implementing this in a different state by creating a separate group of companies. And in that group of companies, GTI owns 5% stake. That's what we need to remember. But at the same time, many of our investors who have been supporting the technology of string transportation for many years and who have been supporting the ideas of Dr. Unitsky, they're ready to invest in the high-speed technological hub in the US too, also using crowd investing model. And this is what I'm going to talk about later today. I will tell you how it's going to happen and when it's going to be possible. So this is, I guess, my summary of what Dr. Unitsky said on Saturday last time. And I think it should be more or less clear, considering that many of you said that it was clear and everything is clear. So we have more than 400 people here, which is very good indicator, very good news, good attendance in general. It's a very good attendance consider. And then later we will see the geography. Vladimir Bulatov wrote that it was loud and clear. By the way, good evening, Vladimir. And now let's make a recap of the top management speeches. We heard that the commercial projects are being actively developed in basically in our entire planet, because there are projects in Europe, there are projects in the CIS countries, Middle East, the Asian market, and we need to also fully understand that for the holding company GTI, a project in the United States is the biggest commercial project for them because its value is $750 million. And the value, the cost of all the engineering works, the design works will be performed by the UST group of companies, engineering team of Dr. Unitsky. And we, being 100% co-owners of the Unitsky String Technologies Inc., are the first line beneficiaries also of the project in the US. Gulnara is asking whether a plant is going to be built in the US. Currently, it's not really necessary at the stage of the construction of the hub, but in the future, it would be logical to build a plant there once the company starts receiving the first orders in the US. Someone is asking, saying that high-speed transportation was valued at $2 trillion. Does it mean that a 5% stake will affect our shares? Well, let me emphasize here that GTI has 400 billion shares, give or take, and the GTI company owns a 5% stake in the American company. And it doesn't matter how many shares the American company issued and what was their evaluation, 2 trillion, 10 billion, doesn't matter. We have a 5% stake in that company. And the actual evaluation of the technology, high-speed technology, will be done by the market itself. And it was mentioned by Dr. Unitsky too. And I emphasized on numerous occasions that an intellectual property gains value once it's implemented. Currently, it's only on paper. You should fully realize, dear colleagues, that without funding, the intellectual property that GTI owns, if that intellectual property hadn't been financed and if we hadn't been able to raise funds for the urban passenger and cargo transportation, that intellectual property's value would also be on paper only. But the fact that the first commercial projects are being implemented, it adds to the value of the intellectual property and it helps it capitalize. Again, without the physical implementation, the value would be 0.0. So please remember that the creation of the US hub or any other region, for example, we could assume different scenarios. For example, if something goes south in the US, other places will be found in on our planet where the high-speed transportation complex can be built. I mean, in the worst case scenario, because we are living in a world where everything can be turned upside down at a whim. And only the market can evaluate the intellectual property. So the current evaluation of the intellectual property is a estimation, and how it's actually going to be will be shown only by the market. Maxim, if we have a 5% stake in the American company, who owns the remaining 95%? Well, I guess Dr. Unitsky owns the 95% stake because he owns the technology. 5% will be owned by the GTI, and the 95% is owned by the founder of the company. And Dr. Unitsky will be selling part of those 95% of shares to investors who will be investing into the American company. I think it's more or less logical. You don't have to think hard about it. Mikhail is asking $400 billion, the 400 billion shares, do they include Dr. Unitsky's shares? Yes, of course. And I think I talked about it at length during one of my meetings when I was talking about the different holdings within GTI. And the pre-IPO shares that are going to be sold through GTI will also, part of them will also be owned by Dr. Unitsky. And by selling them, he will be reducing his own stake in the company. So we need to keep that in mind too. Okay, but this is not the topic that I wanted to discuss with you today. I just wanted this to be made clear, and I wanted this to make absolutely understood. And we need to separate the GTI holding and the American holding. In the American holding, we have only a 5% stake. That's it. In July, official documents will be published on the GTI website, which will outline all the decisions made, and official papers will be published and shared to confirm the decisions made and the financial costs incurred for the creation of high-speed transportation. In other words, how much money was spent to create the module, the prototype UniFlash, and all of that information will be available. And I think all of the questions that our investors had will be dealt with. Why in July? Well, because a time is needed to prepare those documents. Then a financial report was needed to create. The company needed to create a financial documents, necessary documents, and it was the documents. It was announced will be published in Q2 of this year, and Q2 ends this month, so it should be they should be published at the latest in July. That's it. So the question is, somewhere in July, again, to reply your question, the exact date is not yet known. So the question is, where will how the money is going to be spent? VJ Kant is saying that today's topic is Micron Global platform. Yes, we will get to that today, but I first wanted to clear the questions why Micron Global is needed, why crowd investing is needed, and why we need to develop our crowd investing activity operations. So do we all understand why we still need crowd investing, and why the holding company GTI still has to sell pre-IPO shares and continue raising funds for the UST company? So do we all understand why it is needed? You all say yes, but please tell me also the reason. Why do you think it's necessary? And I did mention it during my last meeting too. So Mikhail says to develop, to improve the technology, to finish the construction in progress, to raise the remaining funds for the projects that had been started and not finished. Okay, good. Boris said an important thing. For us to be able to receive dividends without sacrificing the development of the technology. Well, yes. It is very important to understand that for us to be able to receive payouts in the next couple of years, 100% of the net profits of the UST, the holding company needs to provide enough funds for the current operations of the UST company. In other words, GTI needs to cover the costs incurred by UST, so that UST doesn't have to reinvest the profits into its current operations or innovations. We're talking about the improvement of the technology. For example, to finish building, constructing track number 6 in Eco Techno Park. It's quite elementary. We saw the speed that Karat is able to develop, 120 kilometers, and we know that it can go at faster speeds, 150 and more. But in order to achieve those speeds, more design testing is required, improvement of the motor wheel needs to happen. The braking system, the safety systems, control management, control systems, and all other units and components to make sure that the speed is safe, that the ride is comfortable, and all of it, dear friends, incorporates a lot of design work, such as like design documentation, tests, and a huge scope of work. And that huge scope of work requires funds. And where the company takes that money from, two ways. Either it uses its profits from its business activities, from selling its cargo and passenger products, transportation products, and the company, according to its memorandum, has to reinvest the revenues into the development of the technology. But we as investors have been waiting for payouts for 10, 11 years now. But taking into consideration that the company has just started approaching that break-even point and making profits. So the question, how can we expect payouts if the company has to reinvest their revenues back into the operations? And in order to avoid that, the company decided to continue selling its unsold pre-IPO shares in order to cover the costs incurred by the UST. In other words, by selling its ready products, the company will generate profits. It will share that 100% of those profits with us, and GTI will continue selling its pre-IPO shares in order to be able to fund the operations of UST, because after all, it owns UST. I think it's more or less logical and clear. And as Gulnara wrote, it is correct. Good. And now, dear friends, let's move on to the main topic of our today's meeting, which is the launch of the Micron Global platform. It was very important for us to understand first why we need crowd investing, and first of all, in order to finish what we started and to support the company at a very important stage. And it is a very important stage, dear friends, because we helped the company to create that product by funding all those processes. But now the company will continue its operations towards the commercialization and will start selling those products. And our task is to support the group of companies to make sure that it keeps moving forward and to make sure that the competition will not catch up with the company and, well, let alone surpass on that journey. And for that, funds are required. And because of that, crowd investing will still be necessary for dozens of years and not just a couple of years. And I'll explain why. Our first task, as I said, is to finish what we started. In other words, to raise the required amount of money to fund the operations of urban and cargo transportation technology. And this is what our platform is going to do and is doing. In parallel with that, Dr. Unitsky has a number of other technologies that are ready for implementation. For example, the biohumus, uTerra project. It's a very successful, commercially lucrative, profitable business because it shows very good financial performance or payback indicators, return on investment. And there is an already successful case where crowd investing was used to fund the second plant. The first plant is in Belarus, and the second plant was built using crowd investing in the United Arab Emirates. And our colleagues from SWC quite successfully handled this task. They funded this project in less than 1 year, and has started working. So, friends, in your opinion, uTerra plans, do you think they are needed only in the United Arab Emirates, or are they needed in most of the countries of the planet Earth? What do you think? So we have partners saying they're needed everywhere on the entire planet Earth, in different countries, of course, everywhere. So, what prevents us from helping implement and build dozens of such plans using crowd investing? Nobody prevents us from doing that. So, it's all in our hands, and crowd investing will be needed to continue scaling up Dr. Unitsky's technologies. We can manage several projects using crowd investing, and all of those projects will be part of Dr. Unitsky's portfolio of inventions. First of all, it's Global Transport Investment, GTI. Second of all, in parallel, we can work on scaling up uTerra. Third, I'm sure that sooner or later we will come to a point where crowd investing will be used to fund individual commercial projects in different forms. So the development of crowd investing, I, as a person who has been doing that for 11 years now, so back in the day, who remembers my speeches when it all started, I was hosting one of the international conferences of RSW-systems in Odessa in July 2014. Back then, it was the third or fourth conference dedicated to the string transportation technology. The first one was held in Moscow or Minsk. There were several of them. And then the next one was in Odessa. And in Odessa, it was me who was the presenter of the event. I organized the process too. We had several dozens of countries there: Turkey, Romania, Moldova, Bulgaria, Ukraine, European countries were there. It was a huge international event when it all just started. And back in the day, I already was saying that crowd investing in relation to string transportation technology is something that you can be doing your entire life, because the scale of his ideas, his technologies, warrants dozens and dozens of years. For the next 30, 50 years, we'll have a lot of work on our hands to finance all those inventions. So now let's think, what motivates active clients, active investors, people in crowd investing towards doing it on an active basis? In my opinion, it's the idea that we've all came for. So please answer me this question. You came to crowd investing. Did you come because of the community or because of the idea of Dr. Unitsky? In other words, did you come here because you put your trust in Dr. Unitsky, or because you wanted to be with like-minded people? So we have 427 people here. Please tell me, why did you come here? Because of the idea or because of the people who shared your ideas, your principles? Let's see what people are saying. Idea, technology. We came to Dr. Unitsky, his idea, for Porla idea. Okay, then I came because of the mission, idea. I think, is it Spanish or Italian? Idea, okay. Someone came because of the money. Well, of course, but money is the result of what? Is the result of the monetization and capitalization of the technology. So we came for the idea, people are saying. So I see Unitsky por la personalidad de Unitsky. Okay, good. Then, first of all, because of the idea. Idea. I came for the idea in 2014. Idea. Doctors Unitsky's technology, money, potential income, uniqueness of the technology, idea and money, technology. I came for the idea, but to eventually receive payouts. Well, of course. Well, of course, we're not a charity here, and we have not been donating money. It was not like charity donations. We were investing. So let me read again. Idea, money as the result of investing. Dividends. So I came to Dr. Unitsky after his speech in Moscow. Someone says, I would like to have a UST track in Kazakhstan. Sergey says, I liked the idea. Then someone says, I came here because I would like to preserve the planet to future generations. Okay, and people are saying mainly idea, and the Ivan Zhalbe. Yes, I remember you at that conference in Odessa. Just imagine, 11 years have passed, and that's where we met for the first time. Maxim, I came for the idea. I invited a lot of partners, and what's going to happen with the shares that have not been moved from one back office to another. But I already answered that question. Someone says, idea, technology. I saw the speech of Dr. Unitsky on TV back in the day. So, and I was thinking about it all the time. It was in 1994. Really? 1994? Well, probably he wasn't speaking about the technology itself or the project, but you might have seen him on TV. I agree. Someone says those who came for the idea shouldn't be paid dividends. Well, I understand you are joking, right? But of course, without investments, there would be no dividends, without no capitalization. But the reason I asked this question is for all of us to understand the value and the scale of the person that we came for, that we've gathered together around. And I'm talking about Dr. Unitsky and his genius and the ideas that aim to preserve Earth and that aim to preserve life on the planet Earth. And this is why Dr. Unitsky is called engineer of the world in all meanings of that word, both like the world as the planet Earth, but also because world also implies peace, and it implies absence of wars and conflicts for resources, because his technology that aims at taking harmful production into outer space also aims to preserve the environment, so that all the harmful production and extraction of like production of harmful substances and exhaust of harmful substances would happen elsewhere in the outer space and not here, wouldn't pollute soil and the air. Again, if we move the harmful production onto the orbit of the planet Earth, will also address geopolitical problems that the planet is facing right now. I'm talking about pan-planetary transportation system. So we've come here because of Dr. Unitsky and his idea. And of course, behind it all is our personal financial interest, because every idea should be capitalized, right? Well, like Steve Jobs back in the day had the idea of creating a personal computer, home computer, right? At first it was an idea, but then what happened? That idea was brought into reality. And then once brought into the reality, the idea was capitalized, and people who believed in that idea, that computers would be necessary and would be owned by every single person or every household, those people had a huge return on their investments, several thousand times or X's on their investments. If we're talking about people who invested into Apple like in late 80s, 90s, etc. So basically, we're all here because of the Dr. Unitsky's ideas, and it has a huge capitalization potential, and all of it became possible thanks to crowd investing. So what I was driving at here is that crowd investing, first of all, is about the idea, about personality and the followers who will be implementing that idea. Dr. Unitsky has an entire school and institute that he set up to train the engineers who would implement and scale up his technologies. And it is because of that that I understood back in 2014 that if during that time the technology is implemented, then will start being implemented, then I will be involved in the process my entire life, and not only me, but probably my children, future generations. And then those shares would become our family heritage. And crowd investing, in its essence, is also an innovative funding method, because back in the old days, such large-scale projects weren't implemented through crowd investing. It all happened through stock markets, through institutional standard investing models for funding startups and venture projects, etc., such as Facebook's, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, etc. As for what Dr. Unitsky has created, and the fact that he did it through crowd investing is also an innovation to a degree. And it's also a kind of a unique, one of a kind type of activity. I can tell you that we are the only ones on the entire planet who are able to fund such a large-scale sector-forming technology using crowd investing. There is nobody who did anything like that. Dr. Unitsky, I would say, set the trend in the community of innovators. And a lot of other engineering companies followed in his path. They started using crowd investing to fund their ideas and start implementing them because Dr. Unitsky showed the path, and they started simply following suit. And you know that there is a number of such of different projects, innovative to a degree, were launched using crowd investing. But that trend was set by Dr. Unitsky. So, dear friends, what I'm driving at here is that after rebranding our platform RSW-systems and after launching Micron Global platform, we need to understand that we are setting the foundation for the dozens of years of promising future. So what we're going to promise or offer you and are offering you, which is to unite around Dr. Unitsky as the author of all the technologies that I've just listed on our crowd investing platform, we are laying the foundation for our own career for many dozens of years ahead, because we are building a long-standing business, and we can now see that this process is viable. So it's a fully operational funding model, powerful model too, crowd investing model, because there is an idea behind it, and the tool that we're using allows capitalizing different innovative projects and ideas. But at the same time, we are creating income for ourselves through active participation in the process. And the active participation involves direct sales by building your network. In other words, we are spending our time, and for that, we are receiving commission. So there is a win-win process here. As in any agency business or agent's business or sales business, in real estate, in insurance business, people sell like square meters of premises, office premises, and they get commission. People sell insurance policies, they get commission. People sell cars, they get commission. We also sell stakes in different projects. We're selling ideas, we're selling investment opportunities, we're selling an opportunity to build yourself a career. And in the process, we are earning commission, which is totally okay. And right now, we're also enjoying very good terms. Currently, it's more than 30% of commission paid into the network. Yuri has written, it is important for people not to be engaged in MLM pyramids, but to receive return on investments. They need an opportunity to sell their shares at the market value. Well, next year, we expect UST group of companies to show their first positive result. And your desire to receive return on investments will very soon come true along with the growth of the company. And what you said is the words of a passive investor. And it's logical. Not everyone wants to be an active investor or an active agent. So let's give it some time, because I'm told that the Spanish language interpretation was dropped. And I need to answer this objection because it is very important. Well, not entirely true, but still very important to address. So let's wait for the Spanish language to be back online. So we have the Spanish language back online. Good, good. Well, as for the MLM comment, well, the entire comment is not entirely fair or correct. Yes, we are indeed using a network type of sales, but there is nothing bad about it. In the last 50 years, where agents or MLM type of sales was used, those businesses showed quite huge performance and financial result. There are lots of different renowned companies in the global market with billions of dollars of turnover issuing quality products, and those companies use a very decent promotion system, which is an alternative to your traditional form of sales like advertising, etc. There are two. Let me rephrase that. Do you know what's the oldest financial instrument to save, to accumulate your money? Anyone? So what is the oldest form of saving money. Someone says banks, mobile operators all use like agency model through their clients. Someone says gold. Well, gold is an asset. I'm talking about the financial tool, financial instrument, sorry. Deposit, compound interest, not exactly. Investments, real estate, land, piggy bank. So why people, how people ensure their retirement in the West right now? Ludmila gave the answer. Insurance or pension funds. Well, in there are two big companies. MetLife, more than 150 years old, and Vienna Insurance Group, that is 200 years old. So those two companies outlived all global crises and all global wars, and they're selling insurance policies as health insurance, pension insurance, and other different products. So, do you know what kind of promotion method those companies use? I'm asking this as a reply to the comment made by one of our partners regarding the MLM system, whether it's viable, non-viable, interesting, or not interesting. So what kind of system? No, it's not crowd investing. They are using a partnership program through brokers. MetLife, Vienna Insurance Group. Those companies have insurance brokers, and insurance brokers have insurance agents that use an affiliate program based on MLM, and MLM is multi-level marketing. So the fact that we are using multi-level marketing in our work, there is nothing really bad about it, because it is an effective way of promoting, pushing this process forward. So now answer me this question, please. We have more than 400 people present here. Would we be able, if our people, our investors, came only for the idea or only for the idea of capitalization, would we be able to achieve success, any kind of success, if there hasn't been any remuneration, any payout for active promoters made? So would we be able to move this process forward only thanks to the idea if the promoters didn't receive any financial reward that they get under the marketing plan? Please tell me. Well, of course, there would be still some people who would do it purely out of the idea. I'm also an ideologist, but how long would it last? That's what I'm asking, if there hadn't been any reward. So Said says that everyone came to you based on crowd investment. Please go to Micron Global. Well, Said, let me decide when I move to Micron Global, because what I'm saying here is aimed at the entire community and not just strictly Micron Global partners, because I want everyone to be on the same page here. And now let's read your answers. No, we wouldn't be able to survive. Just a year tops. Because just an idea isn't enough. We need to an incentive. Probably 10% of people would stay only. No, no, no. Idea with payouts will work. A good idea needs to be promoted. No, we wouldn't be able to last long because there wouldn't be any motivation. Because the affiliate program is necessary to stay afloat. It's the rewards are given for your time and effort, for your work, in other words. So, with other words, without the affiliate program, we wouldn't have gone far. So let's be honest to ourselves. If it was just purely crowdfunding, no results would be achieved, would have been achieved. But because we had a multi-level component to it, an affiliate program to it, we were able to stay afloat that long and still are strong. Even Lydia wrote here that very few people would stay. Money helped come to conferences and eco festivals, fests. So yes, the marketing operations helped organize and pay for the offline events, of course. So that's what I'm saying. Like Alexiuk Raisa said, that Bush Telegraph plus reward rules. Indeed so. We're talking about a long-term program that works for dozens of years, and there are lots of projects to prove that, and other companies have started using that same model too, and it is an absolutely acceptable process. Now, dear friends, let's move on to the main topic, which won't take a lot of our time. It will be more or less formal or introductory for you. So, friends, I see lots of different comments and questions coming, and I can't get to the main topic. Okay, let me answer one last comment and then we'll move on to the main topic. Yuri wrote that it cannot last dozens of years, as you, Maxim, said. It was possible at the initial stage, but we cannot keep using it. But who said that we would be financing GTI for dozens of years? I was talking about crowd investing as a method of raising funds for Dr. Unitsky's technologies. For example, I mentioned uTerra. So we could use crowd investing to fund the construction of the plant and 1.5 years later start receiving payouts. And we would use crowd investing. For example, once we finish raising funds for crowd transport investment, we accomplish our mission, then the capitalization and monetization of the money happens, invested money. And then we move on to crowd investing to finance other commercial projects. I'm talking about crowd investing as an instrument, as a model that we can use to help implement other technologies created by Dr. Unitsky and his team. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we should be raising funds for dozens of years for GTI. Probably in the next 2-3 years tops, and that's it. And then the company will be on its own rail, self-sustaining rails, and they won't need our efforts anymore. Well, 3-5 years tops, but then we'll have to wait and see. Okay, now, dear friends, I think you're fully on the same page because there is no point in arguing. We see the result. It's quite apparent what happened because of what and thanks to what it is developing. And then everyone is entitled to their own opinion, of course. Okay, friends. So why I have said this is for you to understand to while I said it is for you to understand the transition and why we're moving to the Micron Global. And the reason is to finish raising funds for the current technology and then also use it to raise funds for the other technologies. So let me tell you right away Then Micron Global is a rebranded RSW-systems platform that will be involved exclusively with raising funds for Dr. Unitsky's ideas. We're not going to accept other projects on Micron Global because there is no point in doing it, both ideologically and commercially. So our main mission of the Micron Global would be to get together all like-minded people who are supporters of the genius scientist, researcher, and engineer Dr. Unitsky and his school. This is A. This is A, friends. B. We're fully aware that RSW-systems platform from the get-go was a global transport investment platform because this is where all started, and it goes back to exactly 2014 to the first efforts of crowd investing, and it all started with RSW systems. And at first it aimed at direct sales, and it had only 5 levels in the affiliate program. But because our project was joined by people who were capable of building huge networks and people who were interested in making money not only from personal sales but also making money from their teaching skills, when people are capable of teaching others how to do it and make money from it. And after that, 2 more platforms were created. There used to be a Swig platform. Now we have also SWC, and those platforms suited well people who wanted to receive money not only from personal sales but also from all other levels too. And we came to the conclusion that we should follow suit, and that we should follow the example, and that we can reallocate the 30% across more levels and not just 5 levels. And by doing it, we will meet the needs of all kinds of sellers, people who enjoy making personal sales, and the needs of people who want to build networks. So our marketing plan involves payouts to level 1 to level 16 to the entire depth. And dear friends, you should have the marketing plan, compensation plan by now. It is in the documents section on the current website, RSW Systems. It is in 2 languages, in English and Russian. Eventually, we will add it in other languages too, depending on the demand. So you will be able to familiarize with the marketing plan when you need it. Next, friends, as for the name, why the platform was called Micron Global, the philosophy, the idea here is that this crowd investing model aims to move from the smallest to the biggest. And micron is one of the smallest units of measurement. And global is something big, something huge. And when I decided to move forward with this project, it was important for me to know that I'm part of something great, something big, something huge. And just one person, I'm a small particle of that huge process. And now there are around 1 million people who supported the technology, the followers of the technology across the entire planet. And each of us are a small fraction, a small micron of something global. But without a micron, there can't be a millimeter. Without a millimeter, there can't be a centimeter. Without a centimeter, there can't be a meter, and so on and so forth. So without the efforts of each and every one of us, as a metaphor, I say a micron, there wouldn't be such a global project. So this is what Micron Global philosophy stands for. From small to big, from tiny to great. That's what Micron Global means. and the title, the name of the company, encompasses the entire philosophy of crowd investing, from small to big. And this is what we're doing, dear friends. And I think this is quite logical and I'd say even self-explanatory. The marketing plan, by the way, you have it in the chat right now. You see, we have it in English now and in Russian. It's in PDF format. If you don't have it yet, please download it and keep it on your gadgets. Save it to your gadgets. Now, friends, as for the RSW-systems platform and the transition, let's go one by one. Officially, the Micron Global Micron Global platform will be launched on the 1st of August. By the 1st of August, we will have all the processes ready. I'm talking about payment systems connected, all the investment packages that will be available on our platform. And during that period, what is going to happen and what needs to be done by every client of the RSW systems platform, or in general, the many investors into the string transportation technology that were on other platforms, for example, Swig platform, which doesn't exist anymore. So you and other investors into the string transportation technology, if you invested through other platforms, for the synchronization to happen, for all the data to be migrated, and for your history of purchases to be synchronized, you first need to register in RSW-systems using the same email that you used in Swig or other platform. So you register with your email. The synchronization will happen on RSW-systems. For example, you were a user of Swig and then you moved to SWC and your shares were converted. You saw the extract from the registry. After that, you register on RSW-systems, and then when you register on Micron Global, all the data will be synchronized. And this is what our specialists are working on. But for us to start working on the new platform faster, because there will be exclusive packages for all our clients offered, I will tell you later about it, for us to start working even before the synchronization happens, it will be just sufficient for you to have a back office in RSW-systems. And then you register your account in Micron Global with the same email address. And you can already start working on building your affiliate network using the current updated marketing plan that you see in the chat. So each of you will be able to decide where to place your partners in your structure in order to achieve the highest status possible, or the desired status in the marketing plan. And you need to understand that those statuses will also be linked to your previous purchases. Your previous purchases will be taken into account, which is a huge plus for leaders who will start working on Micron Global. They will immediately achieve elevated statuses, because we would like to incentivize people who already contributed greatly to the technology, either made huge purchases or attracted a big number of investors. So first, friends, the Micron Global platform will be launched on the 1st of August, but with a big but. The registration date, or let's say the registration, will start sooner in the test mode. In the test mode, it will be available more for leaders and to people who... And we will issue a registration form, So it will be more beneficial to leaders who would like to build their active networks and to get registered first. Probably it will happen from the 15th of July until the 1st of August. That's when it's going to happen. We're going to have this kind of a pre-registration, whereas the official launch date will be on the 1st of August. It is important for you to follow the news. The next meetings that I'm going to have, they will be mainly about this topic. I will be keeping you updated about it, about different stages and processes. And it is very important to keep your eyes on the price, right? So for those partners, well, as for all clients of RSW-systems who have money on their balance, who have active installment plans, who have not fully paid packages yet, we will give you an opportunity to finish paying for your packages on RSW-systems platform. Why? So that we wouldn't have any technical disruptions, so that wouldn't have to delay the Micron Global platform. So I decided to do this. So it is very important thing to understand. Very important thing. I want you to listen carefully here. Your active packages that you are paying for right now, you will keep paying for them on RSW-systems platform. The website will not be shut down. If you don't have any active pending packages that you're paying for right now, then you won't be able to deposit money anymore, and you won't be able to purchase new packages on RSW systems. Is that clear? So all of the clients of RSW systems who are now paying their installments will keep on paying those installments on RSW systems platform. And if those packages are active, you will be able to pay for them. If you don't have anything pending yet, you won't be able to pay for them. We have investors who haven't yet finished paying for their packages in 2022, 2023, 2024. We will give you exclusive conditions for you to finish paying for those packages and get extra bonuses. And I will give you more information about it during my next meetings. So we will give you a window of opportunity, several months, for you to finish paying for your unpaid packages. And there are quite a number of such clients out there. So we're meeting our clients halfway and giving them exclusive opportunity to finish paying their installments that have been defaulted. So if you are not using that opportunity, we will recalculate the discount based on the current market discount. So there will be some kind of a parity reached. Also, there will be information published for those who have money on the balance. We're talking about positive balances, of course, on RSW systems. For you, there will be exclusive packages available only to you, to your back offices. Others won't have this opportunity, because if you have a zero balance, then there is no point for you to buy anything on RSW systems, and there is no point in making an exclusive offer. Later, you'll be able only to make purchases on Micron Global. I see in the chat that people are asking about discount 600. When synchronization happens, the discount 600 will also be moved to Micron Global 2, and you will be able to keep paying for discount 600. Don't worry. So once we move to Micron Global, will we be able to make purchases on Micron Global? Yes, of course. So in order to make it clear to you, let's start over. If you have right now active unpaid packages, you will be paying for them on RSW-systems until you finish paying for them. In parallel with that, once Micron Global is launched, we will have exclusive packages that will also include the opportunity to invest in the US project. For example, and you decide to purchase a package with shares in the US company. So in parallel, you will be able to purchase a new package in Micron Global and keep paying for the old package in RSW-systems. That's it. And for us not to have to move the old installments from the old platform to the new platform to avoid technical problems and unexpected situations, I decided to allow you to have two platforms at the same time. So in the next half a year, I expect all the partners to finish paying their old installments, and they will start actively working on Micron Global and carrying out their marketing efforts and build their networks, because there will be very exclusive packages offered on Micron Global. So what will make those offers exclusive? The exclusivity is, first, we're going to offer you the opportunity to invest in the US company. There will be combined packages, hybrid packages that will include high-speed investment packages and the investment into GTI as well. So they will have combined and separate projects, packages. And also there will be some other unique exclusive offers that I will tell you more about later during my future meetings. What else I wanted to tell you? I will answer some of your questions and then I will show you the website itself. It's a test version, and then I'll show you some snapshots of the back office itself, of the account, and then I will tell you what we need to do in the next week or two. Okay, let's go through the questions. Maxim, please tell me regarding the non-converted shares. I have lots of them. What to do? How can we transfer them? I think you're talking about SWIG shares, right? Dear investors, if you didn't convert your shares in SWIG until the deadline, so here, in this case, the responsibility for solving this task lies with the management of SWIG itself, or who is in charge of the current SWIG platform or its successor. So we can't really help you with that because we have no data about those users. It means they have not given us the data. And by us, I mean the GTI company. But I'm sure that this question will be solved, addressed sooner or later, no doubt about it, and solutions will be found. Someone is asking how to finish paying for our installments. Well, in your regular way, you just pay for the installments and that's it. And someone's asking, will we be able to purchase packages in installment on Micron Global? Yes, of course, I will show you how. Will ID numbers be kept? No. ID numbers, it's like the number of your registration on RSW-systems. They are not really necessary. Those users that don't have any pending financial operations and do not have any installments, so your back office in RSW system will simply be closed and no financial operations will be possible. But you will still be able to access your back office in RSW systems for like archive or history purposes. But you won't be able to do any marketing work there or make sales or make purchases. You will be able to do it on Micron Global. Automatic transfer would be desirable. It will be automatic. Well, by automatic, it's not that we will move all the database to Micron Global. No, people will have to register with the same email. We cannot force people to move to the new platform. It should be their own decision. So every person makes their own decision. The only thing that will happen automatically is the synchronization after your registration. This is something that you need to understand. Just give me a second, I will have to translate some of the comments. Yes, I am translating again some of the comments from Spanish, for example. Okay. Can the US residents invest in the transportation system in the US? Yes, the US will have enjoy special terms of investment, and we'll give more information about it later. Will non-active investors have to register on Micron Global? Well, it's up to them, but all the news about UST and about the technology will be published only on Micron Global, and they will not be copied on RSW-systems. So you can register on Micron Global, but you don't have to do take any active actions. You just read the news and learn about the novelties. That's it. What's happening to people who died? Will there be any documents issued to facilitate the transfer? Well, if a person passed away, then the inheritance laws kick in, and then the assets can be transferred or bequeathed according to the will, the last testament of that person. Maxim, will we be able to purchase new packages in July in RSW-systems? Yes, you will be able to purchase packages in RSW-systems until the 1st of August. Thank you very much. Good news, good opportunities. So someone is asking that we need to use the same emails across different accounts. Yes, correct, because it is all tied to your email address. Ferdinando Calenia, I'm not quite sure what you mean with your question. Could you please write me in private? Because I translated your question, but I don't understand what it means. So let's have a private conversation in Telegram, okay? I see lots of questions in Spanish. That's quite interesting. Where you guys are from. So is it important to use the same email? Yes, it is. I already said this. Maxim, when we move to Micron Global, should we use the same login and password? Well, you register in Micron Global with your old email, but then you come up with your new password. But I will tell you more about it later. What I'm telling right now is the nuances that you just have to keep in mind. Boris is right that you have to register on Micron Global just for the opportunity to purchase high-speed transportation shares. Okay, friends, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the website. And then I think we can call it a day because it's already been 2 hours and I will have one more announcement to make. Will we be able to make transfers from SWCs to Micron Global or migration? Well, yes, but for that, you first need to register in RSW-systems and then use the same email to register on Micron Global. So you go to RSW-systems, synchronization happens, and after that, you register on Micron Global. And again, synchronization will happen. Friends, I'm going to show you the website. And as for the 21st of June meeting, the recording will be published mid next week. Agata, this is for you. Can you see my screen right now? Okay, good. So right now, this is the test website. The domain name you see on top isn't real. There will be micronglobal.com, the actual domain name, and it will be deployed on dedicated servers in the near future. So don't mind the domain name you see right now. So first, we have like a slogan: together towards the technological future. Become part of the crowd investing platform and build your own career. You see faces here. Those faces will be dynamically changing, and those faces will be real faces, your faces. For you to get to the homepage of our website, to have your face there, you will need in the near future to follow the news that we're going to publish on RSW-systems with the request, or better, with the kind of a contest to share your feedback, why you are an investor in the UST technology, why you're a client of our platform. So there will be like a form to fill in, and you will have to provide a high quality photo and provide your feedback. And then if your feedback is good, your photo is good, you will have your face there. Also, some of our partners will be placed here. It's the pictures of the clients who want to build their careers. For now, this is a mock-up. This is all like for demonstration purposes only. You realize, so here you will have the faces of real people with their real feedbacks. So this is how the homepage of the website will look like. Of course, the information here will be all actual information. As for this part here, we will have a video with a presentation of our platform, Micron Global. And here you will have access to your back office. I click on it and I move to it. And this is how the back office will look like. Those numbers are virtual numbers. The website will identify your location and then will also allow you to choose your language, country if necessary, and the currency. So I can choose any country I want in the drop-down menu. The first languages will be around 7 different languages. The standard version will be published in English and Russian, and then it will be updated. Probably by the 1st of August, we'll be able to translate the website in all the necessary languages. So here we have the so-called free investment. For example, you can write $380, and according to the current discount, it tells you how many shares you can buy, pre-IPO shares, for $380, like 5,000 shares at discount 14. But of course, we will have all the packages available here with different discounts. This is not the actual numbers. Those numbers are all virtual right now. This is a test version of the website. I just want you to know how it will look like. Next. In here, you will see your personal progress, like your status, your rank, your what you've achieved, what you haven't yet achieved, how much is remaining towards the next status. If you click more details, you will see the history of your ranks according to the affiliate program. Here you will see people in your structure and their statuses, all the chronology, all the timeline, and everything else. So this is your back office. The bonus account, main account, you can top it up, you can withdraw money from the main account, bonus account. Then you have your structure of personal invitees. It will show you their status, how many people you invited personally. You click on plus, and then you will see their structures collapsed. And then you click on accounts. You will see the status of your transactions, of your withdrawals, of referral bonuses, etc. On the right, you will be able to upload your own picture. Here's your referral link that you can share in your social media. So everything is there. Next, your portfolio. So this is what I was talking about. When we launch in August, you will be able to purchase new shares. The old purchases will be added once the synchronization with RSW-systems happens. Immediately, we will not show it here. Once the synchronization happens, that's where we will be able to see the extract from the registry, and there will be an additional button called synchronized. And then all the data will be synchronized from SWIG, RSW-systems, SWC if you decide to move from SWC to us. So the history of your purchases of your pre-IPO shares will all be here. Then reports, your bonus reports, filters, the periods, the type of the marketing period, like reporting period, can be monthly, yearly. You can set your own period with exact dates. And then what else? The profile. You can fill it in, change your password, change your location, set the safety and security settings, verification, etc. Everything is quite simple. So what do we have in the chat? Yes, contact details will be there too. If you want my Telegram details, ask it in the general chat and the technical support will give you. And the investors rating will be there too. I haven't showed it to you. There will be a rating by countries, by investors. We will all have it there. Don't worry. Dear colleagues, give me some feedback regarding the website, please. The verification in time will become automatic. We will be using a special verification service. You won't have to go through your verification again, most probably, if you're not going to buy shares of the... No, there will no repeated verification will be necessary if you verify it in RSW-systems. Let's not ask questions right now because we will have a dedicated meeting to questions. Just tell me about the website itself. And Bachteli is asking why we are creating the new platform. Well, please rewatch this meeting from the beginning or watch some of the meetings I held like a year ago. So give me some feedback regarding the website, please. The website is interesting. What matters is that it should work well. Well, it will work well because it is written in the modern coding language. It will be deployed on safe servers. excellent new website. Excellent, well organized, very nice. Let me translate a comment in Spanish. Please give me some more feedback, please, because it has been done and is being done for you, first of all. Of course, there will be installments on the new website, yes. A very pleasant interface. Will we be able to change our sponsor in the new structure? Yes, this is exactly what we are offering. We're offering an opportunity to build your structures anew, to choose your own sponsors, to choose your own levels. Very nice website, easy, excellent, very advanced website. Yes, it looks very organized. Brenda has written eccellente, well organized, very good, very nice. When we will add the augmented reality service to it, there will be a separate package. Right now we are testing this tool. Thank you very much for your questions, by the way. We are now working on it with our focus group, and there will be a recruitment to the second enrollment into the second test group soon announced, so please follow the news. Then I see good website, perfect, very nice. Thank you for the website. It is gladly appreciated. Thank you. Then on the picture on the first page, there is a referral link. So yes, there is a referral link, and it will be shortened, and you will be able to share it on social media. Very beautiful website, very well thought through. I would gladly navigate the website. I see comments in Spanish. It's nice. I hope the speed will be good, but it will. But even if it's even if there are some glitches, they will be addressed right away. Will the deposit and withdrawal be the same? Well, in some cases, it will be even better. We're now negotiating with a payment system, and there will be some welcome novelties, good novelties. Will internal transfers be possible? Yes, there will be. Of course, they are needed. It's been 3 days. I cannot access RSW-systems. What can I do? Well, I suggest you try using VPN. Will we be able to pay in crypto? Of course. Well, by the way, I'm a very huge advocate of crypto, and I suggest we move on to crypto payments. When will the final countback start to close the fundraising for GTI? Well, GTI will publish that information, will come up with an official statement, so let's wait for their official statement. Please give us the link to the Telegram chat. What Telegram chat do you mean? Here's a question. Should passive clients register on Micron Global? Well, look, friends, in my opinion, it doesn't cost you anything. If you want to follow the news, to be abreast of all the novelties, you should be there. Probably you will change your mind and decide to become an active partner. Or what if a friend of yours or relative of yours will want to invest, and where you going to invite them to? The new platform. So of course it's important that you have it. Then we have regards from Colombia. It's very good that now it's very good that we made it easier to understand the process. Thank you. Well, Gulnara says, please add me to the RSW chat. Well, Gulnara, look, it's you who do it. You can add yourselves there manually. I don't have to add anyone. Okay, friends, what I can tell you in the end of our meeting, we've done quite a lot of work in crowd investing. When we've achieved huge results, we helped GTI company raise funds and finance the creation of the string transportation. And we have accumulated a lot of experience in crowd investing, and we have things to show for, we have things to be proud of, and we have things to promote. So the next milestone in the development of crowd investing that we are now setting up on the Micron Global is capable of speeding up the implementation of Dr. Unitsky's technologies. So someone is writing that unfortunately you missed a lot of important questions from investors and followers of UST, unfortunately. Well, this meeting was not about answering questions. There are dedicated meetings where I answer those questions, especially take into account that a lot of those questions have been already answered in my previous meetings and answered more than once, like dozens of times. There will be a dedicated meeting to questions and answers, and I will answer those questions again, but not today. So, Maxim, thank you very much for your work. It was a very interesting webinar, and I am waiting for the link to the Micron Global website. Well, you won't have it today. For now, it's in a test mode on a test domain server, so we're still working actively on it. I see. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for valuable information. Regards from Campo Lima, Peru. Today's meeting was very important. Thank you, Maxim. Okay, friends, let's recap because I'm answering every comment and then I have my own comments to add to those comments and it can take forever. Okay, let's recap. First, I've already said that we've done a lot of work together, and I would like to remind you all that, guys, you are kindly asked to fill in the form about the languages you were listening in. Ruslan, could you please share that form again in the chat? And I'm really happy to read your words of gratitude, your thanks. I see lots of positive feedback. Thank you for your information. I see Orlando wrote something in Spanish, like thank you for everything. It's excellent for a good presentation. So what I wanted to tell you in the end, Ludmila wrote, thank you for new opportunities. Indeed, ahead of us, there are lots of new opportunities. And right now, it is important that we not miss on the current opportunities. Only 2 days left of the current discount 76, very profitable discount with the potential of becoming 85, and all other packages will not have the same discount, and there will be some kind of good offers, and they will never be as good as today, and there will be some exclusive offers for special categories of investors. So do not miss out on the current opportunity. You have an opportunity to use discount 85. So only 2 days left. So please do not tarry and don't be late. And the next meeting that we're going to have on Thursday or Saturday, yet to be determined. However, in there, I will give you more details about the processes of the transition. I will dedicate special time for questions and answers, and probably we will also make a small summary of the event attended by Dr. Unitsky and the top management of UST, because a recording will be published next week and some people will hear that information for the first time. Then probably we will have like a combined meeting, hybrid meeting, dedicated to different topics and subtopics. So friends, I think we will have that meeting on Saturday, because you will need time to watch the recording. And those of you who missed the meeting on the 21st, you don't know what Dr. Unitsky was talking about, so let's do it this way. We will have another meeting in 1 week on Saturday, and meanwhile you will have time to watch the recording in all your respective languages, the meeting attended by Dr. Unitsky and the top management. And we will have the meeting on Saturday at 6 p.m. Grazie da Verona, Lydia has written. Thank you from Verona. Thank you very much. A very informative webinar, and I'm happy to see this exclusive opportunity. Orash Khan has written. And Maya Yashkina, thank you for your kind words. And once again, dear friends, please fill in the Google form. Ruslan, how many people have filled in the form so far? 142. Well, it's just 1/3 of the entire attendance. Dear colleagues, please fill in the form. It's very important. We have 350 people now. We had more than 400 at the peak, and only 142 people filled in the form. Guys, we still have 200 people who can still fill in the form. So Ruslan, let's disable the chat. Guys, please do not write anything else. Friends, thank you very much for your feedback. And the last message in the chat is a Google form. Please follow the link and just answer 3 questions there. For us, it's important. We are doing it for you. This information, I need this information as a head of the platform only for your sake, for me to understand what kind of people from which countries we have and what language those people speak. So this work is for you mainly. Okay, thank you very much again. The forum will still be open. We're not going to close the room. You will still have a couple of minutes left to follow the link, and then once you click on the link, you will be redirected to a new page, Google Forms, and you will be able to fill in that form. So dear colleagues, thank you very much for your time, for finding time on this Saturday evening to spend it with me, and I was glad to spend it with you. So we'll see each other in 1 week at 6 p.m. GMT +3, and during the week before that, you will be able to watch the recording of the meeting on the 21st of June. And those of you who will see it on the first time will also hear a recap from me on Saturday. Probably you will have questions I will answer. So thank you very much for your participation. Have a nice evening. And don't forget, there are only 2 days left until the end of the promotion. So friends, bye-bye, and have a nice evening.